So after that, we want to confirm our waist measurement. For this client, the round waist is 32 inches. So just in case your client is not around to do the fittings before you sew, so I have 32 inches here. That means I am good to go. So I want to go ahead and add my waistband. Now for this waistband, I've added about 3 inches allowance because here I have 35 inches. You have to make your waistband 3 inches or more bigger than your client's round waist measurement. And I've also gone ahead to cut it out and iron your waistband to make it strong and firm. The width of my waistband is 5 inches, supposed to be 5 inches. When folded into 2, it will give me 2.5. By the time I finish sewing, I'll be left with 2 inches. So you want to, then I went ahead to iron my stay on it, gum stay. Then you want to bend it this way and then sew. Then turn it right to the good face. So after sewing here, you'll bring the good face to meet with the bad face. Okay, you're starting from this flap here. Make sure that the edges are meeting each other. Then you want to start sewing that way. So you ensure that the edges are meeting each other. Good face to bad face. That is how the waistband goes. It doesn't go with good face to good face. You miss it if you try it that way. So ensure that the edges are together. Then about half an inch that you'll be using to sew it. Then you spread it. Make sure that this other part of your waistband is not getting in the way. So you're going to sew all the way till you reach the other end. Honestly, make it straight all the way till the other end. So you sew it all the way to this other end. As you can see here, out of my 3 inches exercise that I gave, I have just 2 inches, less than 2 inches left. It is good. So by the time I get to this end, I'll simply come over here too. So this is like less than 2 inches. So I have to also mark out where it ends at the down. Okay. So I want to fold it this way to that point, and I also want to sew from there upwards. Exactly at that point. Make sure you try as much as possible to get it exactly at that point. Then you want to go ahead and cut off the excess. It's better you have excess that you have to cut off or trim off, rather than having any shortages that will make you to be adding materials that may eventually not make your work to look neat. So this is your waistband. So you're going to go ahead and then bend this one over. Now supposing you're going to be putting the belt hook, the ropes where your belt will pass through, you want to go ahead and prepare that to attach it underneath here before you bend it. But I'm not adding any belt hook, so I think I'm adding belt hook, one would have gone here, but you want to attach it that way. But this is just a plain waistband. So you're going to try as much as possible to fold this in using half of an inch. So you're going to sew all the way around again. Now I want you to watch carefully as I'm taking this. But once you start this part of your waistband, you want to be careful, very careful, not to over drag this upper part the way I'm doing now. Don't drag it. Instead, you even take it backwards a little. Let it relax on a straight line. Most especially if you are doing your waistband without adding gum stay to it, it tends to slack a lot, which will not make your waistband to be smooth. So please do not drag it. Ensure that it is well relaxed while you are sewing. Please do not drag. Just fold it in, keep folding it in half of an inch and sew on a straight line. Try as much as possible for you to achieve a straight sewing so that it will come out neat as possible. So I'm going to continue sewing till I reach the end of to the end here. If you do not do it very well, you will notice that this edge will not be equal. You'll be having excess. But if you did it very well without dragging it, over dragging it, but making it to relax, then you won't be having any excess. By the time you get there, everything will be equal as it is now. So you sew until you get to the other end of it. We are almost there. want to make sure that it's well tucked in there to make everything slick and smooth. So we are done fixing our waistband all the way around. Make sure it's equal at both edges, and you can see the back view. Sorry, I didn't weave my trousers. I'm supposed to do that, but because of the urgency of this tutorial, I couldn't do any inner weaving to make my finishing neat, but I'll be doing that after this tutorial. Okay, so this is my high waist straight trouser. So I might want to go ahead and sew the top of the waistband, to sew the top edge of my waistband so that everything will be well aligned. It's not really necessary, you just may want to do it. So you just sew straight all the way around as you go. So you sew it all the way back this way. So, and back here again. Ensure that your waistband and the edges of the flap are equal. Okay, make sure that they're equal. So you want to go ahead now to do your buttonhole, fix your button or your hook, whatsoever you please, and then you'll be done with your trouser. You want to go ahead and make any more amendments and fitting in case it doesn't fit. And that's the tutorial for today. Please do not share my video. Go ahead and invite your friends to join our Facebook group, Bellwin Creations Community. Also, I've also provided the links to our WhatsApp and Telegram group as well. You can find that. My name is Blessing Ogaba. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya.